not going to do it now, are they? Let's see, cameras come out and they all stay in the flipping tree.
Here they come.
There's a fly. Do you think anyone's going to catch the fly? Oh, 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 he got it. Not the one that was going to get it, a different one. What we need to do is find a bug and follow the bug.
Yeah.
Right, there's a bug there. Oh, here's one, here's one. Oh, whoa, he got it. Sorry, bug.
Oh, don't get the butterfly. Don't get
the butterfly. Kamikaze butterfly. Don't go near the tree.
Maybe that's if I go head on, they won't go for me.
Yeah. Was that hot? Oh.
Sorry? I came round far too quick.
You'll be alright, Pip, if you were.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, you lovely lot. It's actually probably not morning at all. I can't actually. Oh, it is 11:50, 11:30, something like that. I've had a lazy morning. It's Bank Holiday Monday. I haven't vlogged for 2 days because I've just got so much footage that I'm still a week behind. And the only way I'm going to catch up is if I actually don't film a few days. So I've had a chilled weekend of not filming. I've hung out with my friend Ginia and Jackie yesterday for a nice walk along the Thames at Marlow, drinking tea, eating ice cream. It was all very lovely in the beautiful sunshine. Yeah, just pottered around really, doing things that needed to be done. I worked all day Saturday. We have some sad news. Saturday was a pretty dire day, in fact, all round. Saturday could be just taken off the radar, really. Rob woke to having had all of his equipment vandalised. Well, not vandalised. They vandalised his sprayer to get the equipment out of the sprayer, the navigation equipment, GPS. All his tractors have had the GPS ripped out and the combine. So he's basically £47,000 worth of kit removed, which means he can't do the job because, well, you need the equipment and it's got to be replaced, which means we're kind of expecting that they'll make another attempt once the insurance has replaced it all, because that's how these things work. Emma says that, to be honest, they're lucky they've never been targeted before, because most of the farms around here have been over the years, but it doesn't make it any easier. And that's not including the loss of earnings from not being able to go and do these very time sensitive jobs for all the farmland that he's managing. So not great at all. Emma and Rob went out to a wedding that day, and then I was in charge of the kids from lunchtime. Harry managed to put the heat lamp down without me realising on the counter at work and burnt a hole in the counter at work. That was when he was looking at the chicks. I only noticed because I could smell burning. So that happened, and then he dropped his phone down the toilet, and then the really, really devastating news, other than Rob's loss of money, which is pretty damn devastating, is that we lost Dottie really suddenly. She died in my arms. We thought she had got bloat, so I attempted to tube her to release the air, and I wasn't getting anywhere and she was just becoming distressed. So the vet came out and he attempted to tube her, and that wasn't working, and he couldn't understand why not. So then he did the puncture in the side, which is horrible, and thankfully I didn't look. I was looking for more tube when he did that. No gas was coming out, so he's saying this is not bloat, this is something else, there's lots of food in her, and we couldn't understand why, because she's been bottle fed, and we only started her on solids last week, as in the week just finished, and we've not overfed her. You know, she's not been allowed to have free rein to anything. It's not like she's got into a food bag or anything like that. We just could not understand what was going on. And he gave her liquid paraffin as a laxative to try and get her to poo, and he was very blunt with me in that he said she needs to poo because there is a good chance you're going to lose her. That was at 8:30, and by 10 o'clock she had died in my arms and hadn't pooed. Absolutely heartbroken. Emma's still at a wedding. I didn't want to tell her about the bloat, but I had to, because I needed to then call the vet and get, I needed a better tube basically, and wondered what they had. So I had to tell her what was going on. Didn't want to ruin their evening. And then literally as they were about to leave, Sky called them and said that she had just died. So Emma and I are absolutely heartbroken. Dottie was just something else. We didn't have her very long. We've only had her for 3 weeks. But such character. Then we were thinking, we couldn't understand why this had happened, and we were thinking and thinking and thinking, and I just happened to say, you know what, I don't remember her pooing very much. She weed all the time, and when she was on bottles there was the odd bit of poo, but I don't actually remember clearing up an awful lot of poo. And Emma just sort of stopped dead in her tracks and went, you know what, I don't either. And it just suddenly dawned on us that she didn't poo a whole heap. We mentioned this to the vet, and he said it's highly likely, in fact it would make a lot of sense, if she was actually born deformed inside. And what's happened is she could manage with the bottle feeding because it could push the liquidy poo through, but as soon as we put her on solids last week, there was no way of it leaving her body. And she didn't look unwell, she didn't look unhappy until that last few hours of her life. And I've got blessings to think that even though she must have been quite uncomfortable, the real bloating didn't happen until literally the last few hours of her life. He'd given her pain relief, so hopefully that would have helped her get more comfortable. But yeah, it was heartbreaking. So yes, we don't have Dottie anymore. But I've been told so many times by Emma that lambs are not a given, and things go wrong with lambs really quickly. And bloat is one of those things. And even though it wasn't technically bloat, that's kind of what we thought we were dealing with. You know, you just don't know with a lamb. It's not a given, especially when they're being bottle fed. So, right, now I've told you that's sad news. I am about to pot up with my new pots. I'll show you this. That there is how I'm going to stop the geese eating some of my vegetables. At least that's what I think. So I've got little pots here. They're not big enough for some of the huge vegetables, but they'll be good for some of the vegetables. And I'm going to grow them in pots and put them on the planter, and hopefully the geese will not get up there and eat them. I might have to move it away from the sofa a little bit because they've got very long necks now. It's now 1:30 and I've potted up loads of seeds and also sorted out my little pineapple plant that had loads of seeds going on. Tidied up here a little bit and created a little big veg area here. So that's broccoli, chicory, no, not chicory, that is borage, and these are all cucumber plants. I've also potted up various little bits of chicory and chilli plants and tomato plants onto this stand. I've put that stand on my log because we all know that the geese will reach anything that's low down. I'm going to borrow a crate from Emma's, but at the moment this is a little area I've got. I can shut these two away at night, so one out, one in, and then I bring this box, lock up this area here, and that's where they go at night. So they can be together but apart. And strangely enough, it's actually Marjorie who has blood on her today. And she's been a lot nicer to Dorothy. So I think Dorothy has finally stood up for herself and put her in a place, which is absolutely what she needed to do. So I'm not having to separate them as much, and I'm hoping going forwards that will have cured the problem. I always said what she really needed to do was attack her back, and then hopefully she would realise that she's not a pushover. What are you wanting, girls, by any chance? Might be eating their dinner. Their lunch. Am I being mean? Come on then.
Ooh, what's this? What's this?
Try this. Time to get mowing. Oh. Getting this out is going to be easier said than done. Quite heavy. Having an old lady moment, and I've wrapped myself up in a little blankie. I am going to go and get the geese in now and bring them in for the evening. Link is curled up at the bottom of the blanket. Then I'm going to make a cup of tea and I'm going to take that upstairs and hang out with Lee. We've got Blacklist to watch and something else he has told me, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, I did the mowing and then I ended up staying for an hour and having a cup of tea with Rob's nan. That's who I was mowing the lawn for. I can't remember if I said that's what I was doing, but Rob's dad broke his ankle and he would normally be doing the lawn. So I stayed and had a cup of tea with her afterwards, had a lovely chat. She's telling me sort of about her husband who passed away a few years ago and her growing up and things like that. And I love chatting with her. She's, you know, my nan's not around anymore. Lee's nan's not around. I think it's quite nice to have someone to chat to and hear their stories. So I'm sure she'll need her lawn mowing more times before Martin is well enough to do it. So maybe we will chat about other things. Anyway, I am going to go and get the geese in. It's starting to get quite cold and dark now. I don't know if I said earlier as well, but I think the tables might have turned a little bit because Marjorie had blood on her, and I think it might have been from Dorothy, and I haven't seen them fight once today, which means I think Dorothy has finally turned around and told Marjorie enough's enough and she's not putting up with it, which is what she absolutely needed to do. And yeah, it seems to have done the trick. Touch wood so far. Anyway, thank you, you lovely lot, for watching. Tomorrow is my first day at the fibro pain clinic. I probably can't film anything in there, but I will let you know after my first session what I think of it. And then we have a paid job straight after for a young individual through UTalk, a house visit. So I'm going to meet Emma there. So again, I don't really know how much I'm going to get filming. I may not actually get to film anything until well after lunch. Oh, excuse me. So, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Sorry about the yawning, but it is 8:30 and I am tired. So thank you very much for watching. Again, you lovely lot. See you all tomorrow. This chickie is called Dottie 2. She was born, well, she hatched the night that Dottie died, which was Saturday. And I was just rotating eggs. Do we have another one? Now this one's going to get called Yogurt, because that's the name that the kids who come, or the young people that come to our session on a Wednesday, wanted to call something. So this one's going to be called Yogurt. Hello, Yogurt. Oh, you've still got bits stuck to your back. Welcome to the world. It's all a bit steamy in there, isn't it?